Welcome to LMS Learning Initiative of Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. In today's session, I am going to talk about how to connect servlets to database. The contents of the session are servlet and JDBC introduction, procedure of execution, explanation of code and its output, then multiple choice questions. In today's session, we are going to create a simple Java web application using servlet, JDBC and HTML file. Now let us see what exactly is servlet. It is a Java programming language used for extending the capabilities of servers. In servlets, we write HTML codes in Java and servlets run inside a Java-capable HTTP servers. They are server-side programs which are invoked by issuing a specific URL from the browser. In Java, we have packages called javax.servlet and javax.servlet.http, which provide interfaces and classes for writing servlets. The HTTP server class provides methods such as doGet and doPost for handling HTTP specific services. Now let us see what is the procedure of execution, how servlet works. When a client sends the request to the web server receives the request and sends it to the corresponding servlet. Then servlet generates the response in the form of an output. The response generated in the form of output is sent back to the web server. Once web server sends the response back to the client browser displays it onto the screen. The major parts which are required for connecting with SQL is driver class, connection URL, username and password. The driver class for MySQL database is com.mysql.jdbc.driver and the connection URL is jdbc://localhost:3306/test, where JDBC is the API, MySQL is the database, localhost is the server where we have installed MySQL. Suppose you have installed MySQL in different server, then you need to pass here the IP address. 3306 is the port number on which MySQL is running. Sometimes we get the error saying this port is already in use. In such cases, you need to go to the MySQL's installation folder. In the bin folder of MySQL, there will be a configuration file where you have to change that port number and rerun it. Test is the database name. Then we need username and password for MySQL database. While installing, if we have given root as username and blank as password, same thing we are using in our application. Now let us see what is the procedure for creating servlet and HTML file in NetBeans IDE. There are different ways for running or creating a web application. One of them is NetBeans. So NetBeans is a framework which we are using for creating servlets, which is available for free. It is an open source software which can be used for creating JSP or servlet applications. And for this experiment, we need XAMPP software also, which is also a open source software used for running MySQL. Now let us see how to create a web application in NetBeans IDE. Once the NetBeans IDE is installed, go to new project. In the category, select Java Web and in projects, select web application. Then click on next. Then it points to a window where one has to give the project name or web application name. In my case, I have given the web application name as Lab 13. Then click on next. Once web application is given, we need to specify the server for running that application. Here server name what I have selected is Glassfish server. There are different kinds of server available for running servlet and JSP applications. Glassfish is a application server that we are using in this example for processing the servlet. Do not change any of these things, context path or anything, just select the server, then click on next. So that creates our web application. Once the web application is ready, we have to create HTML file and servlet file in NetBeans IDE. The procedure for creating that one is, go to your web application. In web application, we have web pages, source packages, libraries and configuration files. On the web pages, you just do right click. In new, you can see here HTML file. So once you click on that one, it creates a template. Just pass here the name of the HTML file. Do not give extension here, just a file name. It adds the extension by itself in NetBeans IDE. Once you create the HTML page, you have to write code for HTML page. That is, in our case, we are creating a application where we are collecting the student details and storing that into database. Just write the code for entering the student data in HTML file. Once the HTML file is ready, go to new file, again create one more servlet called p13.java in source packages. That is, you go to source packages, right click, then create a servlet page. In that page, you have to write the code for receiving the data what is given in the HTML file. Do not specify extension in the class name, just give the servlet name. Here I have given as P13. It shows the project name or web application name where your servlet is created and the location where your servlet is getting created. Then click on next. Once you click on next, a screen appears where you have to choose the checkbox, add information to deployment descriptor. Here we are configuring the servlet deployment. You have to register the servlet with application by giving servlet and name. That servlet name is P13 and you have to specify one URL pattern. This URL pattern we are using in HTML file. Then click on finish. Once that is created, some settings needs to be done both in HTML file and in the servlet file. This is my HTML file where I have just created 3 text boxes for entering the student details, username, phone number and email, and I have given a submit button. Once user clicks on submit button, it goes to the just now created servlet, that is P13. This is my web application name and this is the servlet name. Do not give extension here, just the class name needs to be specified. Next is, we are writing the code for connecting to database in servlet named p13.java in source packages. In that we have to specify the database URL. In this database URL, you have to specify, suppose your MySQL is installed in local system, then give here localhost, then port on which your SQL is running, and this is the database name. Root is the username used for connecting to database and blank is the password. Next is, you have to download and add a SQL jar libraries. The jar file named mysql-connector-java-5.1.18-bin can be downloaded from net and you have to add it to libraries. The procedure for adding that one is, you go to web application, then go to libraries folder and on the right click you click on add jar. Then you go to the location where your SQL file is downloaded and add it to libraries. Once code of HTML servlet is written, next part is, as we have already installed exam software which is required for running MySQL, go to exam control panel. In the exam control panel, go to this MySQL and start this MySQL server. Here you can see the port on which this MySQL is running. Suppose this is running at 3306, but default when you installed it will be 3306. In my case, that port is used by some other application, so I have changed that in the configuration file. So same name can be used in my servlet. Same number I am using in my servlet code for connecting to database. Next part is, once a MySQL is running, you go to HTML file and right click on that, then click run HTML file. So here we can see the screen like this, a window where one can enter the student details. The details of the student are username, phone number and email address. When I click on submit button, it calls a servlet called p13.java which connects to database, inserts the student details into it, then reads the records from database, then displays the same in the form of a table to requesting client. So when I click on submit, it has to show me the information like records are inserted into database, and same thing we are inserting, reading from database and displaying onto screen. Now let us see how we can do the execution in NetBeans IDE. This is my NetBeans IDE. Here I have created a web application called Lab 13. For creating this, you just go to file, then on click of file, here you can see new project. So when I click, it will ask you to enter the web application name. I have given Lab 13 as the web application name. So once application is created, web pages, source packages, test libraries, configuration, files named folders will be created. Then for creating the HTML file, you go to web pages, then right click on that. Then when you click on new, here you can see HTML file. So likewise, I have created a HTML file whose name is p13.html. Here you can see just 3 text boxes are created for entering the student details. So on click of the submit, it calls a servlet named p13, and this is my web application name. This is the servlet name. Now let us see what is the code in p13.java. So these are some packages required for servlet to connect to database and execute query, read the results from database and display it to screen. I am using this package for creating the servlet. This HTTP servlet class contains method called doGet and doPost, where we have to write the code. And I am using a database URL called as jdbc:/mysql:/localhost 3307/test. This is the port number on which my SQL is running. Here you can see this is my exam control panel. This is the port on which my SQL is running. So if there is any problem with the port, you can go to this config, then change the port number and rerun the MySQL. Next is, I am taking the object of HTTP servlet response, then setting the content type of my output. The content type what I have set is text by HTML. That is, my output generating is in the form of a HTML. Then I am creating the object of print writer by calling the response get writer method. Using the print writer subject, I am creating a HTML file. So as I told you already, the HTML files are created by using Java code. Next is for establishing the connection, you have to call the getConnection method of driver manager class. And this class for name creates the object of this driver class. This is the URL for connecting. Username is root and password is blank. Once the connection is ready, we are reading the value of the parameters which are sent from the HTML file, that is username, email and phone number. Then we need to enter that or insert that into the table. For calling the execute query or execute update methods for inserting or selecting the records from database, one need the object of statement class, which can be obtained by calling the create statement method of connection. So here in this query I am creating the table called as TB book2. Then in that TB underscore book2 we have 3 columns called uname, email and phone number. After creation of table, I am inserting records into the table after reading them from HTML file into these variables. Once the insertion is done, I am displaying record inserted successfully, and similarly I am reading all the values from the table and displaying that in the form of a table to browser. For reading that, we have to retrieve the column names. rs.getInt reads the phone number from table. This one needs username, that is student name, and this reads the email address of the student. Same thing, we are generating a table and displaying the same. Here I am just closing the result set object and closing the table. Finally closing the body and HTML tags in the Java code. Now let us see, this is all about writing code in Servlet. Now let us see how to run this file. You go to HTML, do right click, then click on run file. Once you click on that one, it generates a form like this. Here I just enter username, phone number and email address of the student, then I click on submit. So when I click on submit, we can see here record insertion successful, and also we are displaying the information stored in the database in the form of a table. So this is how we can connect a servlet to a database. Now let us go to multiple choice questions. First question is, which of the following code is used to get names of the parameters in servlet? First one, request.getParameter of name. Second one, response.getParameter of name. Third one, header.getParameter of name. And fourth one, none of the above. The right answer for this one is A. That is, by calling request.getParameter of name method, we can get the names of parameters in servlet. Second question is, what type of servlets use these methods do get, do post, do head, do delete and do trace? Answers are generic servlets, HTTP servlets, all of the above and none of the above. The right answer is B. That is HTTP servlets, which uses the do get, do post, do head, do delete and do trace methods. Third question is, what are the major components of the JDBC? First one, driver manager, driver, connection, statement and result set. Second option, driver manager, driver, connection and statement. Third choice, driver manager, statement and result set. Fourth option, driver manager, connection, statement and result set. The right answer for this one is A. That is by driver manager, driver, connection, statement and result sets, which are the major components of JDBC. Select the packages in which JDBC classes are defined. The choices are JDBC and JavaX.JDBC. Second one, RDB and JavaX.RDB. Third choice, JDBC and JavaX.JDBC.SQL. Fourth option, SQL and JavaX.SQL. JDBC classes are defined in, the answer is D. That is by using SQL and JavaX.SQL, we can create the JDBC classes. Which of the following method is used to perform DML statements in JDBC? First option is execute result, execute query, execute update and execute. The right answer is C. That is by calling execute update, we can perform DML statements in JDBC. Fifth question is, which methods are required to load a database driver in JDBC? Get connection, register driver, for name and both A, B and C. The right answer is D. That is by using both B and C, that is register driver and for name, we can load database drivers in JDBC. Thank you.